We really never had any menus. We just almost winged it.
Very difficult to send an estimate or give them anything to look at that was pretty. It was good for information, but not good for selling.
The only menus were a handwritten list of stuff that we wrote down.
We had no menu system at all outside of a 8x11 card stock.
Previously we'd been using a printed menu, and as you can imagine with any printed source, it's obsolete the day after you print it.
It was a stopgap measure at best, not very presentable to the customer.
So there's no consistency.
You go and you sit down with your service manager and your parts manager, and then you have to interview them and really determine what kind of program they want.
Give the advisors a selling tool that was quality enough to call it done in a Lexus store.
For us, we were looking for something that was electronic, something that would integrate the departments.
I would think my biggest concern in starting the VMA program was getting everybody on board and selling the employees the value of it.
Just to have something that all the advisors had a consistent guide to use.
I had doubts. I had an option of several different menu systems. I had a lot of things that was free software provided through our manufacturer, but I looked at it as an opportunity to increase my gross, which has proven itself over and over again.
We started with what we considered to be our highest volume lines, and that was Mercedes-Benz and Lexus. We went on down through to Acura, and then further on to Porsche and Jaguar. The biggest thing for us has been the implementation process has been seamless. It's been a tremendous advantage for our staff because I can take an inexperienced staffer and they can quote a price with confidence. It's been a benefit for our service consultants, and most importantly, it's been a benefit to our clients who are more in charge of their options for service.
The technicians loved it because they could now process estimates from their workstations instead of having to physically walk up to the service writer's office and present them with the estimate.
We print a parts picking label for our parts team. The service technicians get a sheet for all the services they're due. It eliminated a lot of communication problems that we have between parts and service.
So they could actually send the estimate to parts, have it quoted, and have it sent to the service writers without even having to leave their workstations.
Technicians can see everything recommended.
And so at the end of the day, you know, they saw that it made their job much easier, that it expedited the process in which the selling techniques that they used, and at the same time, the technician knew and the parts department knew before the car was even pulled around, the parts department already had pulled the parts.
Maintenance has changed, as prices change, we can change with it, keep it accurate, and keep everybody comfortable with the menu and believing in it, and believing in its value.
And overall, it increased everyone's income from the owner of the store down to the employee selling the service.
Our profitability has increased by about 30%, but we've seen it increase in productivity as well.
Because all they are is a presenter. They present it, and then they sit back and they watch the guest decide whether or not to buy it or not buy it.
They liked having something that made sense to them, was appealing to the eye, and it just laid it out in straight form of fashion that the customer was now making the decision on how much service, how much money they wanted to spend, and most customers want to take care of their cars.
What's beautiful is, as a manager, and the way the SmartVMA system works, is you can track your people every single day.
Those are things that unless you're standing beside that consultant when he's doing his business day to day, you might not ordinarily pick up.
Our sales ratios have almost doubled off of our menus now.
We increased our effective labor rate by over $20 per hour within our first 45 days.
We had a 32% increase in the first month and a half once they got trained on menu penetration and the ability for them to sell.
Pretty much standard across the board in Augusta has been anywhere from a 30 to 40% increase in maintenance sales. And that goes across the board from highline to domestic to import to every type of vehicle. What we've seen is a pretty standard 30 to 40% increase.
Since implementing the VMA menus, people love it, customers and employees. It's just more beneficial, and customers see it and they like having choices.
At the same time, offering a very simple point and click declination of a specific item in that menu with a price adjustment. It's all automatic, it's right there in front, it's very easy to use, and that puts more of the buying power in the customer's mind. And if they feel like they're in control, they're more likely to spend more money with your store, and that's been evident with our success with the product.
When we started using the digital menus on the tablets with the customers really enjoy the interaction with the menus. They get to see, it kind of gives them a visual of what they're getting.
A benefit for the service advisor to show them right there with a tablet, going to them and saying, this is what our technician is recommending.
Listen, when you compare it to other industries and other technologies in our business, I make one phone call to one person. He's in town. Yeah, I know him personally.
The biggest response from our customers, we were quoting prices exactly the same every time. And when they came to the service counter, we had a display menu and we went through the good, better, best options. They were pleased to see exactly what they were paying for, and it added value to the service.
It's just an all-around good program that allows you to sell, to service the guest, and to analyze your people.
The techs are excited, the advisors are excited, the parts people are tired from how many products they have to put across the counter every day, but they're excited. It's just been a win-win for everybody in the dealership.